Thank you.
Like, you thought that was funny, right? You have to send this over. I would ask her.
Flowers need a sun, I need you. Hey viewers, welcome back. It's James Calm, your half-assed painthead reporter. Special shout out to our viewers in Warsaw, Thailand. And as always, Copenhagen. We're gonna run in here to the Lisson Gallery and we're gonna see a Stanley Whitney show titled 2020. Excuse me. Stay tuned. We'll start out and walk through the show. I just bumped into Walter Robinson in the street, and he was headed someplace else, but his word for the day was wonderful. Gosh. Okay, we've been watching on and reporting Stanley's work for at least 10 or 12 years now. And I would say that in the last, maybe 5 years, that Stanley has really rocketed to prominence and probably be considered one of the great abstract painters in New York these days. Okay, I like the title of this piece. This is Monk and Munch. And this is oil on linen, 28 by 35. Well, I'm just kind of casually taking in this work, and I see that there are a couple of developments that Stanley's been doing, and one of them is I get the feeling that his forms are getting a little more simplified. Everything is more urgent. Some of these blocks are larger. It seems like his stripes between the blocks are also larger. It's titled Keep On Talkin' Blues, 2021. This is 80 by 80. Well, so as I said, we've been covering Stanley's work for a while, and I occasionally I'll bump into Stanley. He's a very affable guy, very approachable guy. And so we'll yak a little bit. And Stanley is also a jazz fan. So we might talk a little bit about that. And I guess maybe I don't want to make too much out of that, but in a certain way, I think that there's a relationship between Stanley's painting and jazz, or maybe the structure of jazz, the tones, notes, pauses that you would find in a classical jazz number. This is Orange Conversation 2021. It's 96 by 96. And as I was saying, I think in a lot of ways these have the characteristics of Stanley's smaller paintings in that they're very simple, and in certain ways almost like reducing the strokes down to the minimum. So his fat lines are, just looks like maybe 1 or 2 strokes there. And yeah, he keeps it very simple, although I noticed also that some of these are painted over so you get some pedimetti, but he does, Stanley always, at least in the recent paintings, has been painting pretty thin so that you get a transparent color, which I think maybe makes the pure pigments sing a little more. Also, when I look at things like this, I am put in mind of some of what they were calling the last paintings by Ron Gorchov. He was also doing very thinly painted, very luminescent compositions. Okay, so this is Monk. New Hope, oil on linen. It's 80 by 80. Anyway, I was talking about kind of, I get a feeling that a lot of this is like jazz in that, well, you've got your blocks of tone, the way that he lays these out almost like a text or a piece of sheet music. You could actually, I guess, program a computer and you could read through these and have tones, musical tones in there for the colors. Actually, I'm thinking that Kandinsky was kind of playing with that idea in the spiritual and art. They were talking about synesthesia, I think is what they call it, some kind of neurological condition when colors set off musical tones. Miles, 2021. It's 96 by 96. So I was going to say that all of these things look simple and direct. A lot of these are not just pure colors. He's kind of mixing things down, toning things a little bit. Like that hot red, slightly different than this one. It looks like he might have even scraped some of this a little bit. Okay, Okay, so that's not a straight cerulean blue, that's been grayed down a bit. It's a beautiful corner there. Do be you. Well, as I said, he's really kind of simplified these, and I guess we could go back and check some of the other exhibitions. These color fields have gotten bigger, and well, those relationships between these two large fields of color changes the way you read them. So in one of our rough cut reports lately, we looked at an exhibition by Robert Swain, who was purely a color theory painter, and well, he got some great things to happen with blocks of color. Okay, so this is the biggest piece in the show. This is the namesake of the show. This is 2020. I wonder if that's 2020 vision or the year 2020. Well, on Linden, 96 by 120. And yes, well, I was saying I think Stanley has probably come into his prominence as probably one of the top 3 or 4 abstract painters in New York these days. And well, it's always heartening. It's always heartening for me because Stanley has done it the good old-fashioned way. He just worked and worked and worked and worked and did some teaching, helped a lot of people. I know his wife is also an artist, but I think he's probably deserved everything he's got and more. And also watched as he's moved up, and we were all hoping that he got involved with a good gallery, and I think Lisson is pretty good, and they're probably very happy that they're representing him. Okay, so I'm noting that some of these paintings don't have a stripe on the bottom. Some of them do, and that kind of changes the way that you read the forms. Okay, we better hurry because it's after closing time. I'm gonna run through this real fast because we got about 2 minutes before closing time. I might not get to all the titles. This is a beautiful work on paper. Untitled 2021. 22 and a half by 29 and a quarter. This is gouache on paper. So we've got some small studies. These are all entitled and watercolor. 3.5 by 3.5. And I was saying that I almost got the sense that some of his large pieces he was using the same kind of urgent brusqueness, broadness to make the paintings. Okay, this is a nice little selection of smaller pieces here. Monk and Munch. 28 by 35. Well, we'll see this as we slide down these, but it's interesting to note how it kind of changes the color sense when you have the stripes, the horizontal stripes change colors. This is what I was talking about how this kind of makes me think of a jazz riff or a Bach fugue. Okay, so this one has kind of a darker tint. This is the blues. I guess all of these are titled Monk and Munch. And he's doing a little more overpainting on some of these. Okay. I like that with the, it's like the little slip is showing there. More Monk and Munch. Okay, another thing, this is interesting. So we've got this rectangle of color, and then the same color is extended across, becomes one of the crossbars. We have this one down here. It's extended out of this pink square. Oh, I get it. And then we've got this kind of an Indian red. It comes out of this square up in the corner. It's kind of the way a jazz theme would get repeated as you play through it in little different variations. We're running. Also Monk and Munch. Okay, so I'm looking, and some of these have got 3 stripes of blocks, 3 striations of blocks. Some of them have got 4. In this case, the blocks on the bottom run all the way off the edge. In this one, we've got our framing band. And again, Stanley is a very sensitive colorist. Okay, oh, I like that. I'll just have to tell Stanley he spelled monk wrong. It should be spelled M-U-N-K, I guess. And another untitled watercolor. James Calm reporting on Stanley Whitney 2020 here at Lisson Gallery. You can like this, share, subscribe, post it to all your social media sites, and you can leave your thoughts, ideas, comments, criticisms, and reviews below. We just ask you to say, as always, thank you, Kate. Whoa! Oh, that was beautiful, Greg. That was great. Thank you.
Greg Banks, that's an original song titled So in Love.
All right, Greg Banks.